What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Dragonflight video. I hope you're all doing very well. Listen, this time we're going to talk about an elemental shaman build that I think is going to be really, really strong in Mythic Plus. I think that there's going to be a couple different builds, actually, for Ellie Shaman to jump around on. But this build in particular is one that I have been trying to make work in Shadowlands for a long time. And we're getting some extra tools in Dragonflight, particularly on the right-hand side of the tree here, that are going to allow us to make this build work. So this is a Mythic Plus Fire build for Elemental Shaman, okay? I'm going to go through the entire tree. I'm going to show you the benefits you get from the class tree, and then the ones that you get from the Spec tree, obviously. This build, if you want a sort of a TLDR, focuses very heavily on Flame Shock. It's all about Flame Shock. It buffs up the damage of Flame Shock, increases the tick rate of Flame Shock, reduces the cooldown of your elemental, gives it lots of crit. There's a whole bunch of really cool parts. Generates Maelstrom. So we'll get to all the details in a minute, but this is a fire build that focuses on things like Liquid Magma Totem, Fire Elemental in Mythic Plus, and the ultimate sort of capstone idea is that you're getting as many Flame Shocks out as possible, and then you're spamming Lava Burst to trigger deeply rooted elements, which is, of course, down here, and we'll get to all that in a minute. So, first of all, on the class side of the tree, you're just going to fill out however you kind of want to. You want to make sure you get Fire and Ice for sure, and Ancestral Defense is really, really good. But I actually don't need to get Frost Shock. I can just go down here. Get your speed. Get Gust of Mist if you want. Gust of Wind or Spirit Walk, whatever you want to get. Get your Ankh Talisman. Get your defense right here. Lightning Bolt damage is what you need. So Fire and Ice and then Lightning Bolt damage. Those are the main two that are really important. And then it's kind of up to you. You still need 2 more points here. I'm just going to go Spirit Walkers plus Graceful Spirit. Very good. Actually, you should do that for sure, because then you can get this. Totemic Focus reduces the cooldown of your totems by 4 seconds. That also applies to Liquid Magma Totem. Sorry, my camera's right in the way there. I will throw it in the middle. Well, I'm going to leave it here for now. Anyway, I'll move it in a minute. But Liquid Magma Totem is what you're looking at there. And then you're going to want to grab like Thunder Shock maybe for the knock-up. Nature Swiftness is always good. Then I think you should put 1 point to Totemic Focus for sure. Then you need to go down the right-hand side and get Call of the Elements with Creation Core. That's really important. Now I have 1 point left. I could put it into Mana Spring, or I could just go an additional point into Totemic Focus, which I think I might end up doing. Unless it doesn't change anything. The reason you want Totemic Focus is because it increases the radius of your totems, and it says by 15%. Now, I'm going to click it a second time. It should say 30%, I think, for Elemental and Enhancement. So, if I'm correct about this, your Liquid Magma Totem will have 30% more AoE, which is actually very important, because it does AoE splash damage to everybody, right? It continues to hurl Liquid Magma, dealing damage to all enemies within 8 yards, and you can increase that by 30%, which ends up making it like a 10-yard range or 10.5-yard range. So very, very good. But the crux of what you're getting here is Call of the Elements plus Creation Core. Very, very important combo here. This is going to cool down Liquid Magma Totem because it resets the cooldown of your most recently used totem with the base cooldown of 3 seconds. That is Liquid Magma Totem. It has a 1-minute recharge cooldown. You can get this done. And then I believe the way that Creation Core works is that you can do it a second time. Now, I'm not sure. I can't test this on the alpha because I don't have access yet. But I'm just under the way I understand this tooltip is that you can use Call of the Elements once on Liquid Magma Totem, right? Then you press it again, and you use it on Liquid Magma Totem again. Or it just gives you, it affects the totem twice, an additional time. The wording is kind of ambiguous. We'll figure it out when we get to actually test it. But that's on the class side. That's what you get. Mostly you're getting Call of the Elements and Creation Core, but you're also getting lots of other tools. You need the damage reduction here. You need fire and frost damage, and then lightning bolt damage, and then the radius on your totems. So let's get into the tree. How are you going to build this tree? One thing I want to note here, really important that Blizzard has done, Storm Elemental used to be down here. It used to be right where Improved Flame Tongue was. Let me move my camera over at this point. Let me just move over here, okay, so we can get a better look at this. Improved Flame Tongue used to be Storm Elemental. They moved Storm Elemental up here, which is an amazing decision by Blizzard. This is perfect. It means if you want to do a Storm Elemental build, you can go right here and then go to like Primordial Bomb and then stop. And you can go left, go hard left, and grab all this stuff here. Or if you want to do a Fire Elemental build, then you can go here and go hard right and get all the fire stuff. And you have much more access to this bottom four, this core, this bottom four here, which is what you're kind of looking for. Okay? Very good change by Blizzard. But on the top end here, you're just going to grab Earthquake, and then I think you do have to get 1 point. Oh, no, you don't. You don't even have to get Tumultuous Fissures, so don't worry about that. You just have to grab these three, you know, get Earthquake, get Elemental Fury, get Primordial Fury, get Master of the Elements, and then come down here and get Lava Surge, okay? Now, we're off to the races. So we want Echo the Elements, extra cast of Lava Burst. Lava Burst is the main button you're going to be pressing because you're going to be fishing for deeply rooted element procs, okay? You want to get 50 extra Maelstrom. This is a new choice node that they created. This used to just be Aftershock. Now it's also Surge of Power. And Surge of Power is slightly buffed from its form on Live. On Live, it says when you cast Earthshock, it gives you all of these potential benefits. All the benefits on here are the same. So Flame Shock, Lightning Bolt, Lava Burst, Frost Shock, those all do the exact same thing that they do on Live. But the difference is you can trigger Surge of Power with Earthquake now. Earthshock, Ellie Blast, and Earthquake enhance your next spell. This is really, really good for Mythic Plus, which is where you probably wanted to use this. It means that you have much more functionality in Mythic Plus, because it would always feel so bad if you took Surge of Power in a Mythic Plus environment and you press Earthshock on an AoE pack to try and get the buff, the Surge of Power buff. Nobody wants to do that. If you're in AoE, you want to be pressing Earthquake, and then you also will get the buff now. So they've really, this is a straight buff to this build. And I still don't think it's necessarily worth taking. It might be to spread one extra Flame Shock, but I don't really think it's worth it. You're probably better off just going Aftershock, but I just wanted to mention huge quality of life change for Surge of Power. Take Aftershock here. Take your Eye of the Storm. Now we're going right for the rest of this tree. We're going right down here. Okay. Here's the first start of the fire buffs that you're going to be getting. Increases the damage of Flame Shock, Lava Burst, Lava Beam, and Fire Ellie. Great, that's what we want. Flame Shock deals damage 15% quicker. Okay. Well, what else makes it deal damage 15% quicker? They buffed Fire Elemental in the latest build. While Fire Elemental is active, Flame Shock deals damage 33% faster. It used to say 25% faster. Now it's 33. So, I mean, I think it probably should just be like 35. I'm not sure why they're picking 33. If you combine the Fire Elemental speed with Flames of the Cauldron, you get 48% faster speed on Flame Shock. So it ticks basically 50% faster, which is incredible. That's really, really good. Okay, very, very good combo there. Then, reduce the cooldown of Flame Shock by 1.5 seconds. This is actually a buff, because this was a 2-point node that reduced the cooldown of Flame Shock by 3 seconds. It's not really important to reduce the cooldown of Flame Shock, but it's very nice to not have to spend 2 points in this node to get down below it. So that's very nice. Here's our Flame Tongue buff. We get 5% more spell damage. So you essentially get 15% more fire damage with this build between these two nodes. Then they move Power of the Maelstrom over here, which is actually quite cool. Casting Lava Burst has a 10% chance to cause your next 2 lightning bolts or chain lightnings to trigger elemental overload an additional time. So that's additional means really cool. It means that if you fire your chain lightning, it can elemental overload on its own, and then it's guaranteed to trigger again from Power of the Maelstrom. So a very nice, like, kind of general throughput node here for you, that when you're casting Lava Burst back to back to back to back, which you're going to be doing to try and trigger DRE, then you're going to get a chance to get like a free mini Stormbringer. This is like a mini Stormbringer, but you're getting it by pressing your fire spells, which is perfect. It literally fits in perfectly with this whole kit and what you want to do. So now we've filled out this whole side here. We still have 1 point left that we need to put in. This is where you get to choose. You can go Tumultuous Fissures if you want, or Inundate, or you can go Ice Fury. You probably don't want to go Ice Fury, would be my guess. So let's just put it into Fissures for now. Now Earthquake has a 7.5% chance of knocking enemies down. Now we've unlocked the bottom, okay? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over here and get the Primordial Wave buff. That's going to happen. I'll talk about that in a minute. Here's the rest of the fire buffs that you're going to get. Liquid Magma Totem is our main button here. This is the main. This is like everything revolves around Liquid Magma Totem for this AoE build in Mythic Plus. Then you're going to get 2 points into Searing Flames because you want your Flame Shocks generating Maelstrom. You're going to get DRE, and you're going to get Skybreakers. They actually moved Wind Speakers over here, which is very, very interesting to me that it's all the way down on the fire side. It used to be over here. It used to share a node with LE Blast. It doesn't anymore. It's right here. So that's okay. We're going to get Skybreakers because we're in an AoE situation, right? You want all your Flame Shocks to have 50% crit. That's the point. Then you have 1 point left. We're 29 out of 30. This is where you could get 1 point, I would say, in Magma Chamber. It's perfectly fine. Or you can get 7% haste while you have Ascendance rolling, which is also really, really good. You could get Elemental Equilibrium. I don't think this is a good choice for this build. It's probably a fight between Oath of the Farseer and Magma Chamber. Let's just go Magma Chamber for now for the extra damage. Okay? Now, what have we built? What is this build that we have in front of us? Well, here's what you're getting from the build. Let me just make this a little bigger. Okay? Here's what we're getting from the build. Just focus right here. Number one, sorry, we'll start with the class tree notes. You're getting Call of the Elements ×2. You're getting Totemic Surge, which gives you 4 seconds off Liquid Magma Totem. You get Totemic Focus, which gives you 30% more radius. I said 15 here, but it should be actually 30. 30% more radius on Liquid Magma Totem. That's very good. What else are we getting? I can't move this. We are getting 50% Flame Shock crit. This is all the Flame Shock buffs. 50% crit, 48% tick rate. Liquid Magma Totem spreads 3 Flame Shocks for us. Liquid Magma Totem can be repeated 2 times with Call of the Elements. Flame Shock generates 2 Maelstrom per tick. Per tick, when those ticks are 40% faster now. Flame Shock increases the damage of your spenders by up to 10%. That's Magma Chamber. Flame Shock cooldown reduced by 1.5 seconds. That is Flames of the Fire Lord. That's what you're getting. All these buffs on Flame Shock. All of them. So how does this work then? What's the opener like? Let me move this over here a little bit. Here's the opener right here. You're going to pop Fire LA because then he's going to buff all your Flame Shocks subsequently. And you're also going to be extending Fire Elemental with Skybreaker. So you pop Fire LA first. You press Flame Shock. You press Liquid Magma Totem. Now you have 1 Flame Shock out. Liquid Magma Totem spreads 3 more. So you have 4 Flame Shocks. Then you press... You could do Liquid Magma Totem later, but you're not going to do it right now. Flame Shock... Oh, I'm going back up here. I'm sorry. I'm like doing the opener. Okay. Fire Alley, Flame Shock, Liquid Magma Totem. You have 4 Flame Shocks out. Then you press Primordial Wave. You have a 5th Flame Shock out. Okay. Then you press Lava Burst. It's going to give you 30% haste from Splintered Elements. It might also just reset its cooldown. This is a 30% chance for it to not incur its cooldown, which is very cool. You get 30% haste. Okay. This can trigger Deeply Rooted Elements. This whole thing. So you have 5 Flame Shocks out. You just sent 5 Meatballs with the Primordial Wave buff. Those can all trigger DRE, which might trigger an additional wave of Meatballs to go out, right? So you send your Primordial Wave out, and you go boom, 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 boom. They all overload. Let's say you get your 5 Lava Bursts, and a bunch of them overload, and then they trigger Deeply Rooted, and you get another wave of Lava Bursts that might also overload. Then you can do Flame Shock again to add your 6th Flame Shock if you want to, okay? Then you're going to press Earthquake because that Primordial Wave Lava Burst that just sent a bunch of other Lava Bursts is going to generate way more Maelstrom than you need. You're going to press Earthquake for your spender. Then you're going to Lava Burst as much as possible. You're just pressing Lava Burst, and trust me, guys, your Lava Surge procs will be absolutely through the roof. It's only a 10% chance, but it's 10% times 6 because you have 6 Flame Shocks out by now, okay? That means that you're going to be getting Lava Surge procs back to back. If you've played this on the live version of the game, you know what I'm talking about. You're just going to be getting this back to back to back to back, okay? So you're going to use Earthquake again as you're building Lava Surge. Also, all of your Flame Shocks are giving you 2 Maelstrom per tick. Per tick, guys. I can't express how important this is. If you pop Lust with this build, your Flame Shocks will basically have 70% more. No, they're going to have almost 80% more speed. They're going to be ticking almost twice as fast. Like 80% quicker. Tick, 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 tick. Your Lava Surge procs will go through the roof. The damage is going to be through the roof because they're critting 50% of the time while ticking almost twice as fast. Okay? They're generating Maelstrom for you. Tick, 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 tick. That's like, let's say you have 5 Flame Shocks out. So it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, Earthquake. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, Earthquake. That's not even counting the fact that you're also pressing Lava Burst, which is going to be generating Maelstrom on its own. If you get a Power of the Maelstrom proc here, then you obviously can use Chain Lightning, and when you run out of Lava Burst charges, then you can start pressing Chain Lightning. That's basically what you want to do. And that's the build. You're basically just pressing Lava Burst as much as possible to try and get the Deeply Rooted Element proc. It gives it to you for 6 seconds. And it has a 7% chance to go off. So this build is going to be so much fun. And this does exist right now in the normal game, but you basically have to go Venthyr to make it work really, really well. Now Blizzard is baking in sort of that Venthyr Chain Harvest ability to spread Flame Shocks. That's just going right into Liquid Magma Totem now, and it's making it incredibly, incredibly strong in Mythic Plus. Once you're done your Liquid Magma Totem Primordial Wave combo, you're doing Lava Burst, Lava Burst, Lava Burst to try and get DRE, then maybe a Chain Lightning. You're obviously filling with Earthquakes, but then right as your Liquid Magma Totem ends, you can prep another one. You press Call the Elements, and you pop another Liquid Magma Totem down. And if it might spread that additional Flame Shock, let's say you already have 4 Flame Shocks out, it's going to spread 3 more. You're capped at 6 Flame Shocks, but you're going to go from 4 to 6 at least when you drop Liquid Magma Totem. So very good quality of life. If you're already capped on Flame Shock targets, it'll just refresh the Flame Shocks that you have going, which is also very good. That's the synergy here with Call of the Elements. Right as your Liquid Magma Totem ends, you can pop another one and get it out there, get it doing more damage. This is going to be absolutely insane in Mythic Plus. This thing does uncapped AoE damage by itself. It also spreads your Flame Shocks. Your Flame Shocks allow you to get Lava Surge procs more often. It also generates Maelstrom for you. It also is going to reduce the cooldown of Skybreakers because you're going to be pressing, because they're going to be critting all the time. Reduces the cooldown of your Fire Alley, I'm sorry. And then you're just pressing Lava Burst. Like, all these passive things are happening behind the scenes. Flame Shocks are critting. Flame Shocks are generating Maelstrom for you. Flame Shocks are, what was the third thing? Can't remember. Oh, triggering Lava Surge for you. Those are all happening in the background. You're just pressing Lava Burst. That's all you have to do, which allows you to funnel some of your damage into a particular target if you want to. Then you're going to get that Deeply Rooted proc, and it's going to send big, big Lava Bursts at all those different targets, and then you can just keep going from there. Obviously, when you're in your ascended form, you could press Lava Beam, but you might just want to keep pressing Lava Burst because it gets a lot of damage, and you might trigger back-to-back DRE combos together. So this is the big combo. They've made this tree incredibly intuitive now. It's so easy to build this out. Honestly, guys, this is going to be a fantastic build in Mythic Plus with Liquid Magma Totem, Primordial Wave, and Deeply Rooted. It's going to be really, really fun, and I think it's going to do a lot of damage. I can't wait to try this. I'd love to try it right now, but a lot of this stuff doesn't even work on the alpha, so it's not a big deal. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you think about a fire build for Elemental Shaman in Dragonflight? Again, we have this build right now. Some of you guys might have played it with either Necrolord or Venthyr in the current Shadowlands game. Do you think this is going to be a better version of the fire build in Dragonflight? Do you think that Liquid Magma Totem is the spicy sauce that we needed to make this build work in an AoE situation via spreading Flame Shock? So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, drop a like if you like the video. It really helps me, guys, if you take the time to press that like button, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm really, really close to 2,000 subs. What are we at here? What are we at for subs? Let me get this over here. My channel. We're at 1.94K subs, guys. We're really, really close. So let me know. I mean, don't let me know. Just hit that sub button, okay? Hit it. Hit it for me. If you want to support what I'm doing here, the future of what I'm doing, Patreon, there's a link to that as well. It's right over here, guys. I haven't really showed this too much, but there are a bunch of tiers that you can get, and there are different rewards. There's a digital art drawing that goes on each month, and you can get you can support me that way, and you can get some digital art as well. So, again, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys for all the support. I love you all. I'll see you in the next one.